So you just bought you a brand new car and you blew the entire budget on your car, but you want to make it go a lot faster. I got you, no worries. I'm going to show you how you can release up to 15% more horsepower than what you currently got, especially if it's a little bit higher mileage vehicle. Now, the first thing I want you to do is this. I want you to clean out your entire fuel system. What does that mean? Everything from the fuel pump to fuel tank, and I want you to also clean out them fuel injectors. Now, Amsoil makes an incredible product. They claim on its own it'll do 15%. I kind of doubt that claim, the validity of it. I mean, it's a great product, but they're talking really high up. I don't think that's really possible. 3% gain would be astronomical. If you got a 300 horsepower car, you're getting about 10 horsepower like that. That's pretty awesome, Jack. Now, when you're cleaning the fuel injectors, that is one thing to speak of. I'm going to link a video down in the description. It's less than a minute long, and it's going to show you exactly how you can do that at home. Now, before we go into the next couple ones, I got to mention some I don't want you to do. I do not want you to put one of those giant stupid wings on your car. Your car more than likely does not necessitate such a thing. Plus, you're going to look like a virgin. I mean, who wants to get in your car if you just look like a straight up virgin and you're 40 years old? That ain't cool, right? Y'all seen that movie, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Number 2, I do not want you to go ahead and steal your mama's credit card. Go ahead and go on eBay and start shopping for all them plastic bits and baubles you can put all over your car. That ain't good neither. That's a bad one. Okay, weight reduction. Weight reduction is the easiest freebie there is, because you're going to go ahead and strip out your carpets and things like that, especially in the trunk. I mean, do you have any idea how much the matting on the back of the carpet weighs? It's quite heavy. Now, my car, I've relocated the battery to the trunk. I didn't really gain any horsepower doing that, but I gained a little bit of performance because now I've offset a lot of weight in the trunk, redistributed the weight around the car. That's a negligible thing, so I'm going to go to next. What I want you to also do is look into porting and polishing your intake manifold. I want you to also port and polish the throttle body as it connects over to the intake manifold. The throttle body, doing all that, you've got all these little channels and things that it wasn't formed proper. And let's face it, a lot of cars, the intake manifold, it's plastic. And that's okay, but when it's plastic, it's molded and it's got these little lines and grooves in there, and air is just creating vortices. That's a big word for me, vortices. But the air is not flowing smoothly and properly down into the engine for proper combustion. You can realistically expect to gain some tremendous power from that alone. Years ago, I took my old Camaro into the shop and I paid around $450, $500 to go ahead and get the heads ported and polished. Nowadays, you're looking between $700 and $800 to do the same thing. Well worth it if you got the money to spend. You don't want to do it on your own. Yes, you can screw up. Yes, you can cause a big old problem. But look, it's like anything. You take your time, you're focused, you pay attention, you're careful, you'll do a good job. It's like making love the first time. You ain't gonna be great at it, but if you take your time, you'll get yourself and her there. I promise you that. Now, I want you to also consider wheels, tires, and a proper alignment. Now, wheels, them ain't cheap, so maybe you can do a trade for somebody else's that have the smaller wheel. Everybody wants them big old 20s on their car, but let's be real, they weigh a lot, and it takes a lot of effort for the entire drivetrain to turn them over. So are you gaining more horsepower? No. But what you are gaining is a whole lot more performance. With your tires, the better the compound you got, the better the type of tread you got, depending on the type of driving you want to do, you're just going to grip a whole lot better. That's a fact. And the compounds they got in these tires now are just off the chain amazing. Now, one thing to remember is, again, with the tires, them treads don't last forever, and the compound, if you get like Toyo R888s, those things are, they're gonna dry up right quick. That's why they don't got a warranty on them. Now let's talk about high flow catalytic converters. I want your car to breathe better. And in doing so, you can either modify the exhaust system, which, I mean, the catalytic converter is a part of the exhaust system. But what happens is these catalytic converters, they do a great job of scrubbing all the crap out of, the air that's coming out the exhaust. and polluting the atmosphere. I know, Tesla, I know you're trying to change the world, I get that. But when you put in high flow, it means it's just gonna breathe out easier. Think of like an asthmatic breathing out a straw as fast as they can. It ain't good. But then you give that asthmatic a little bit of medication so they can breathe better, and you give them an entire trombone, and man, it's just a lot better. I'm sorry if I blowed your eardrums out right there. Now, you do all these things to your car. You change up the fuel system by cleaning it out. You go ahead and port and polish your heads. I mean, right there, that's just about free. Then you go ahead and change your air filter, because believe it or not, most folks just don't change them as regularly as they should. You change those regularly, your car again is going to breathe better. But if you do these things, it's important that you also go ahead and get a proper tune. This is where, you start diving into some money. I advise you go to a professional to do that, fork over a couple $100. Your car is going to get better mileage, it's going to release a ton more power. And if you've got a 300 horsepower car and you go ahead and do these things, I can almost guarantee you with certainty, you will release between 30 and 50 horsepower right there. And what did you spend? Dadgum near nothing. One more thing, and this one's for all you out there that want to just improve all your performance. Just go get a proper alignment on your car. Just an alignment. Make sure them tires is lined up the way you want them to go. Make sure that everything is balanced the way it should be. And dear God Almighty, you are going to make more difference driving down the road than you ever thought was possible. And if you have any questions about the topics that I've discussed here, I want you to go ahead and click the links down below. Also, for tires and rims, I got a discount from Fitment. Go ahead and click that link, y'all.